Yes, indeed.
You guys are
You were
special.
tuned in to G5 Jeff TV. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the share button as you come on in. Y'all are not doing shit as usual. So come sit down in front of this screen, get some of this good boxing talk. Let me get the introductions out the way so we can get down to business. As you can see, we got the VP in the building. We got VP Shane. VP Shane, what's going on?
I'm all good. I want to give the floor to Coach straight away, man.
Let me introduce him. Let me introduce him correctly. The coach, the legend, the birthday boy. His birthday is today, so definitely show him love. Coach Padman McGriff, what is going on, my good brother?
He's frozen.
He's frozen. How everything going, Coach?
Good. I'm gonna move into.
You're freezing.
A better spot. I got you.
Okay.
All right, cool. That's all good. I'm gonna give a rundown of the show while he's doing what we're doing.
Okay.
These guys showing the swimming pool.
Yeah,
These guys
showing
living a nice lifestyle, living a nice lifestyle.
Yeah, he's showing off.
But for those watching, obviously last week, I don't know if you ever watched it. If you haven't watched it, go watch it back. But the first episode, we were speaking to Padman. He spoke about a lot of his time in the sport and who he's worked with. What I want to get into is a few things, but I want to start by giving him a proper introduction, and then we're going to get into like some more tactical stuff because Jeff knows I'm a guy who's heavy into game plan. So let's go, Padman. Introduce yourself and happy birthday first off.
Yo, man, I appreciate it. I love you guys to death. You guys are my boys. I'm Padman, out of Vegas. That's what I do. That's what I do, man.
That's what I do, man.
That's what I do, man.
That's what I do,
I train
man.
fighters, man. Anybody coming to Vegas, you can holler at me at Coach Padman Official on Instagram, William McGriff, boxer trainer on Facebook. Holler at your boy. When you come in Vegas, let me know. We'll work privately. So
yeah, and if he don't hit you back, then you're not good enough. You're not good enough to work with him. And that's just what it is. You heard it from me.
Oh, bring your wallet. Bring your wallet.
It's going to be a long one.
Listen, don't do like my boys do when we go out. This is what they do. We out, they do this. You got me? You can't have too many friends, man. You might know a lot of people, but you know your friends. That's 100.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. You know what I mean? So,
yes, sir.
Brother, start patting the pockets on you, dog. You be like, I gotta go, man.
Go ahead, Shay.
So the first, I actually wanted to just get straight off the bat. I wanted to talk about what did you think of Dylan White's performance last Saturday?
I thought he looked better than the first fight. I thought he got his head off the line better. And
bro,
he wasn't.
Stop. This is why I hate Padman. Because that was my next question. Because I have a clip to show you. I have a clip to show you about Dylan White getting his head off the line. And I was like, didn't that look like just what you were teaching in that clip on your Instagram page? Where you had the right hand and took your head off the line. But continue. Right. I'm so annoyed, Padman. You keep stealing my questions. Go ahead.
My bad, dog. My bad. And he wasn't squaring up as much. You know, he always was a ducker. Him and Tyson Fury are the greatest heavyweights that have actually light heavyweight hands, close to light heavyweight hands, because they slip and roll. They counter. Dylan White countered amazing. Like Povetkin he doesn't counter. He just comes straight forward. That's all he does. So his retirement is in the making, but he had a great career. You know, he had a great career. Let's see what Dylan White does. You know,
I wanted to ask you about that same getting the head of the line, because there was a time in the third round, everybody should know, where he threw a heavy right hand. And during him throwing that heavy right hand, I swear to God, I swear on my life, Padman has on Instagram the exact same shot that Dylan White threw. But the difference was in the first fight when he threw the straight right hand, but his head was straight there. But Padman showed exactly what you do when you throw the straight right hand. Get your hand over and your head over across off the line so you can't land a counter shot.
That's right.
And that's exactly what he done. So you must have been watching some Padman.
He could have been. He ain't gonna tell nobody though. Yeah. He could have been. But
talk to me about the importance of that. Talk to me about the importance of that.
Well, it keeps your head off the line, and also it's a recoil off. You know, you can also do it without the punch. You can do it off the slip. You can do it off the punch. You just got to know how to do it. Like when you throw a straight right and you want to throw a body shot, after you finish the body shot, you should be here. That's where you should be. You should already be down there. Boom, boom. You should already be down there. You shouldn't go and then try to go down here and throw it. That's not going to happen. Mechanically, it's a complete J. You know how you make a capital J? Mm-hmm. It's a capital J. That's what that is, a capital J. Boom. If you don't put the combinations together, they'll never work. When I seen Dylan White, his jab always been great. And I see he wasn't sitting his right hand way behind him anymore. He was sitting his right hand way behind him in the last fight. It's taking so long to get there.
Yeah.
Now he's sitting that bitch up here in front of his ass.
Get quicker to the target that way.
Oh my God! You just walk the foot. Boom! You're there.
Mm-hmm. I was going to talk to you about the importance of punch power. We're going to get to that in a second. But do you feel like the same thing when you're talking about the recoil? Do you feel like that also increased the punch power as well? Because obviously you're not wasting emotion. You're not wasting energy. It's just a straight instead of
you're not pausing in between it.
That's what I mean.
You're rotating the hips together.
It's more fluid.
Yeah, the hip, the shoulder, and the foot, they have to go together and they have to be bent in order for you to get mechanics rolling in the right direction. If it doesn't feel comfortable, that means your hands are way down here and you're T-Rexing. Who are you fucking gonna beat up? That's no power. That's no power.
Right. Right.
That's like Little Man.
Yeah. For real.
Moving forward, what would you say he needs to improve on, Dylan? After watching that performance.
Who? Dylan White?
Yeah.
Feet. Just get his feet a little bit better. You know, he was learning how. I noticed this fight. Last fight, he didn't step back. This fight, he stepped back when he seen shit coming. So his eye coordination has gotten a lot better. And it's probably from pads. You don't get that from bag.
Right.
Bags don't hit back. We understand. Pads don't either. But guess what they give you? You see that big dot in the middle of those pads? It's called target. People make the mistake of when they're doing pads with you, why are they looking at your chest? Look at the targets. Get your eye coordination right first. Your eye coordination, to me, is everything. You have to have a tunnel vision right here. You got to be able to turtle up that shell tight and take anything coming. As long as, I don't know why fighters, they take a punch and they're like, that shit, buckling the shit out of them, right? The reason why is because you ain't tighten down on that shit. Tighten down on it. That's what you're supposed to do. It's like another car bumping another car playing Crash 'em Up Derby.
Yeah. Hey, Coach, I wanted to run this by you real quick. Tell me if you've seen the same thing. With Dillian White, it looked like he checked his pride at the door because I didn't see him in other fights take that half step back when he see danger coming. Did you see that, Coach?
Yes, that's what I was just talking about. He was taking a step back. He's seen everything coming. Mm-hmm. And you don't get that on the bag. You get that on the pads when the coach, whoever's coaching him, is finally getting out of his wheelchair and moving around.
Well,
Sorry,
Padman,
Coach. No disrespect, man. I'm just clowning.
Right,
I
right.
think
Get out of the wheelchair. You're vaccinated.
what would you so when you said his feet he was doing well stepping back, so what would you say then, because you said his feet needs to improve, what about his feet?
Turning.
Like what?
Turning. Don't freeze up. He's getting better at not freeze. That's how he got knocked out the first time. He froze and dude faked him and went to the middle. He thought he was going to the body. He put the point on the hip, but he did this.
And his whole face was open. His whole face was open.
What's this?
Hey Shane, don't I tell you this all the time? I was like, when Dillian White missed that right hand, his face was just like, hit me. Like, you know what I mean?
His chin had a name on it. Right here.
Right. That's how open he was. But that's a great point, Coach. Like him freezing. That's a great point.
He thought he was going to the body. He did like this. Remember I tell you, motherfuckers with that bullshit tilting to the punch, you got to sit down and be protected from head to body. Now another thing he's gotten better at, really gotten better at, what do you do when a motherfucker head hunts you? You sit down and go where?
The body.
All damn day. And that's what he was doing. He slowed Povetkin down with body shots first.
Them stab jabs to the body. Them stab jabs to the body.
Stab, jab, and body shots. Another thing he done better. He shoulder rolled out of it and hit him with a body shot. I was like, that's new.
Yeah.
So I'm happy for him and his coach. You know, maybe we can get him on a show. He did a great job. Like, absolutely. He had enough time though, and he kept himself.
Yeah, he had plenty of time.
He kept himself clean. You know what I mean? Like in this business, you have to keep yourself right. Spend money on yourself to be conditioned and right. Unless you have a coach like me, I'm versatile. I do both. I do everything with my fighter. Conditioning, boxing, whatever. I don't give a hoot what it is. If I say you need to improve on your feet, then that's what we're gonna do today. You need your gas tank better. That's what we're gonna do today. Only thing I want to hear out of you is, okay, coach, that's benefiting me. You can't take it as constructive criticism because it's not hatred. So you got a lot of problems with fighters out here.
So now this is a big question mark around it, but did you feel like there was something wrong with Povetkin going into the fight?
No, he was healthy. There's no excuses. He got beat down. He looked sloppy like the first fight. The first fight, he just got lucky. To be honest with you. And he don't have no feet neither.
Hey, coach. That's why I thought. Now Shane will tell you what his mom said. He was literally walking to the ring, and I thought something was like, he almost looked like he had a couple shots of that Jack Daniels. Like I was like, yo, I said, what's going on? I said, what's going on with Povetkin? And then I called Shane after the fight, right? Shane was like, yo, I was watching the fight with my mom, and my mom thought there was something wrong when he walked into the ring, right, Shane?
This is the thing, Padman. My mom's not a boxing fan. She doesn't watch boxing. Like, she only watches, she's a casual boxing fan. So we're just watching. I watch boxing, so my mom was in the room. And she was like, and Dylan White walked first, which was Jeff was saying, Jeff was saying, oh, Dylan White's walking first. So Dylan White walked first. Dylan White looked confident, normal. But my mom was like, what's wrong with his feet? Why does he walk to the ring like that? Could you explain that to me, Padman? Because
I don't know. You know, maybe he's punch drunk.
Hey, coach. You know the thing that's crazy. The difference between the first fight and the second fight is Povetkin didn't land the money shot. I'm like, Dillian White was just as dominant in the first fight as he was in the second fight.
And that's what I said. He just got lucky. Povetkin got lucky the first time.
He was good enough to cash out on that lucky shot. He was good enough to cash out on it.
But he ain't cashing out now. He's cashing out for real. Go on and sit it on down. Work on your tan. Go to Florida. Don't go home to your country yet.
Right.
Go enjoy your life and have a good time. Take your coach and see your family. You know.
Did you want to see Dylan White in with next?
Oh. That's a tough one. That's a tough one, bro. I don't really know. I mean, I think him and Joshua will really be a good one because they both got the same style. One who's older though? Who's older? What's the advantage?
Dylan's older.
Dylan White is how old?
32.
Yeah, he's still in the making. He's okay. As long as he's not Klitschko's age. Klitschko was 40-something when he fought
like 41
Joshua.
During that fight. Yeah.
And Klitschko just had a great stick, a 1-2. It was great.
Yeah.
The problem with that fight, though, I'm not going to lie to you. Again, I just feel like dimensions is against Dylan. I just feel like AJ's got very good dimensions, man. This guy is really, really, really strong. Dylan's used to fight. You look at the guys for Povetkin, Rivas, Derek Chisora,
Joshua
Parker. They're all,
happy.
yeah, like they're all quite. They're not as tall, not as physically imposing, and they're also shorter. You see my point? So I feel like you got to look at the fact that Joshua's got good dimensions and he can crack.
I don't know, man. I like I like Joshua because he's a hell of an athlete, but mechanically, they're probably mechanically. I would say Joshua is maybe 38% mechanically okay, and maybe Dylan White is maybe 28% because he didn't throw enough punches. He threw great shots, so accuracy was up, but punch count wasn't. Like Anthony Joshua has a punch count. He throws a lot of punches once he gets going. The biggest problem with him is hand placement after the punch. He throws everything down to the shoulders. And he's just sitting there like, look at me, look at me.
Right.
That's why Padman, he struggles with shorter fighters because shorter fighters, they slip and they go in. Whereas taller fighters, they just stay at the outside and they literally, even though AJ might miss, because they're out of range and they're not looking to go forward and inside, they don't capitalize.
Not at all.
Yeah, they don't capitalize on the mistakes.
And if I was Anthony's coach and he's fighting a shorter person, guess what Anthony's gonna have to do? He's gonna have to come down to his size because that guy is gonna sit there and bomb on his body all day. Guess what Joshua's gonna have to do? He's gonna sit down to his height and bang and stay in front of him in the middle. You don't have a choice anymore. He can't fight. Joshua won't fight nobody like that. No. He'll fight you from a distance, a little bit mid-range, play long, and he'll play long with you all day. But when he hurts you, he comes to you, and his feet get caught up. So they're not understanding. You have to have I call it the ghost foot. The ghost foot is, don't rush it. Just walk that bitch and then take off. It's a ghost foot, man.
Yeah, that's a good point because I didn't even look at it like that. But if you look at the 2 times he's got in trouble against short fighters, it's when he's got them hurt. In the Ruiz fight, he got Ruiz hurt and then he came in and then tried to trade. In the Dylan fight, he got Dylan hurt. He went in and tried to trade. So
and look what you just said. Look what you just said. He came in and he took his hands down to where Ruiz was.
Right.
They hit him. So what did Ruiz do? Right here, right here, right here. He's like, everything's right here because his hands were down here.
Let me get in these comments real quick, Coach. Jay Banks. Hey, Jay Banks, what's going on? John Hughes was in the building. He says White has to be biding his time for a Joshua payday and won't want a risky interim fight. That's common sense as far as a business standpoint, but Joshua. Okay. Joshua and Fury is going to be tied up for a while. Joshua, Fury, Wilder. That trio is going to be tied up for a while. So, John, I think
the only way that doesn't happen is if Wilder doesn't want to come back. That's the only reason. Like if Wilder comes back, then it's gonna be a trio. Those three at the top. But if he doesn't want to come back, then
yeah, I think Dillian White's gonna have to take some type of interim fight anyway, because he's not getting Joshua next. He's not getting.
But he wanted Trevor Bryan, and I actually feel like that's a good fight. I actually feel Trevor Bryan. He wanted Trevor Bryan. I feel like that's a nice little matchup for him.
Nah, hell no.
Why?
It's not Trevor Bryan. It's the name. It's the name. Like, that's a no-win situation for him. If he blow Trevor Bryan out, he ain't gonna get no credit for it. If he has trouble with Trevor
Bryan is the WBA regular champion, so he's probably
understood. Even with that being said, my opinion on that don't change. Trevor Bryan don't hold no water.
I get that, but me personally, I feel like it would be it's good target practice. It's probably one of the first times he's fought a tall and wiry fighter, other than Robert Helenius. Normally he fights short fights. I feel like that fight will be a good target practice for the bigger guys in the division, like a Wilder, AJ, or Fury.
Yeah, now if you're talking about in preparation for one of those guys, then
yeah, that's what I mean.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, we're on the same page. We're on the same page.
Because it's not a risky fight in the sense that Trevor Bryan won't probably beat him. So it's a good target practice.
Right. Okay. So you're talking like a tune-up fight. I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
Go ahead. Go, Padman.
Who thinks that Joshua wants a tune-up fight?
No, we're talking about Dillian White.
Dillian White.
Tune-up fight?
Before, obviously, we got to look at it like this. Like, AJ and Fury are going to be tied up for 2 years. So the guy was asking, John Hughes, shout out John Hughes, was asking, he's not going to take a risky fight. And I'm like, if he doesn't take a risky fight, you're basically asking us who would he fight? And that's basically it. Because he's mandatory right now. So what's the point of taking a risky fight when you go?
He's going to have to go to the number 3 and the 4 and the 5. I mean, you got Brazil.
I like that fight. I like that fight because Dillian White will be able to work on some things in that fight.
Yeah. Brazil, no way, bro. I'd rather him fight Otto Wallin.
That's a risky fight. That's a risky fight for him. That's a bad style matchup, Shane. That's a bad style matchup.
I feel like it's target practice.
Otto Wallin is not target practice, bro. You know that. He's
good target practice for Fury. He's good target practice for Fury.
Who's target practice for Fury?
Otto Wallin is, if Dillian White for Otto Wallin, it's good target practice for Fury.
You showing off because it's Padman birthday, man. You showing off today, man.
What do you mean?
Hey, come on, man. Otto Wallin is not no target practice, man. Put some respect on his name, man.
Nah, he's a good fighter, but when the reason I'm saying
what's his gas tank like?
You Dillian White.
Who, Otto Wallin?
Yeah, Wallin.
No, his gas tank, all right.
Great gas tank's good. But the reason why I'm saying it's good target practice in the sense that Dillian White's not used to fighting movers. Otto Wallin's a mover. If he was to fight Fury, at least he would get the preparation of fighting a mover.
So you're saying he needs a tune-up fight to work on his game to fight.
That's what I mean. If he fights Brazil, Brazil don't fight like AJ or Fury.
Yeah, Otto Wallin is not a tune-up though. That's my point.
No, he's not a tune-up, but he's gonna give. Go on, Padman.
I think Brazil's the.
That goes to the comment. Hold up. That goes to the comment. Hold on. Stay Ready Boxing. He said, "What's hood, family? Stay Ready Boxing. What's going on, players?
What's up, Stay Rizzle?"
Okay. Hold on. And he must have heard. He said Brazil is a terrible fighter.
Listen, I'll fight Brazil.
Brazil. You know what? Did I ask Coach this about Brazil and
Arts coach. Brazil,
hold on.
Who's slower? Go on.
Go ahead, Shane.
Who's slower? Dominic Brazil or Joe Joyce? By your eye test,
Joe Joyce. Joe Joyce.
Hey, coach. It looked like the TV in slow motion when they throwing. It's like this.
Shane is not right now.
Who's slower? You say Joe Joyce?
Joe Joyce slower?
Oh man,
I say Brazil slower, yo.
I say Brazil.
I think Brazil is slower.
I think Brazil is slower.
Hold on, and Stay Ready Boxing said Brazil is slower.
Yeah, I think Brazil is slower. I think Brazil.
Oh, Stay Ready said I'll fight Brazil.
Me too.
Listen, for the right amount of bread, I'll fight him too. I'm about to change.
Can I ask you another question?
Padman, I'll be ready.
Padman.
Yeah.
Fury or Wilder? I'm Fury or AJ? Fury or AJ?
He got Fury.
I'm taking Fury, man.
Fury.
I'm taking Fury.
Can you tell me why?
I think AJ's mechanics is only 30%, bro. Honestly, I'm being honest. Like, you gotta finish punches, man. You can't be baby punching. You gotta knock a motherfucker's head off the block. And he ain't knocking no heads off the block. And he should have dominated when he fought Ruiz, man. I don't care how many sandwiches that motherfucker had. He should have knocked Ruiz's ass the fuck out.
I get that, but I get that.
Right? You a
Can I tell you?
You paper champion, looking good, TV, commercials. Merry Christmas to everybody. Bang, 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 bang. That's what this show is all about.
That is funny.
Wow. Bang, 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 motherfucker.
Honestly, yeah.
Listen,
I was gonna say something, but he literally just
hold on, Shay. Hold on. Let me get to the comments while you get your yourself together. Stay Ready said I'll fight him for 10,000. Hey, Stay Ready. Listen, you're going to add another 0 to that. I ain't fighting him for no less than 100.
Yeah, he's still making,
on me.
Yeah, he's still making more than 100,000 a fight.
Yeah, Stay Ready. You got to put an extra 0 on that, baby.
Yeah,
Stay Ready said a 6-rounder.
Yeah,
he said a 6-rounder.
But
yeah, they still had to pay me 100,000.
Yeah,
the reason
Brazil's still making money. He's seen on TV. He's still making money.
Yeah, he's making good bread.
Yeah.
The reason why I say personally pick AJ is purely and simply because I don't feel like, other than that Wilder fight, I don't feel like Fury's got a good enough offense. He doesn't land enough punches in my opinion.
I don't think he does either. But neither does the other motherfuckers behind him. got any good offense neither. You go down the line. You go down the line. Fury's the slipperiest.
Mm-hmm.
AJ's okay with trying to throw combinations. Wilder has one punch. Out of all three of them, they're pretty slow when it comes to defense.
No, yeah, I agree with that.
You know what I mean? So they can get knocked down and knocked out anytime, bro. Like how I mean, honestly, I like Wilder, but I think he's just the average, just like them. Like the knockdowns that he had, to me, they weren't acceptable knockdowns. Let the man get up. You know, it's championship fight. Winner take all. Don't cheat the motherfucker though. Let him get up, man. Like, come on. In that first fight, I kind of think that he counted out to 10. I think Fury was asleep counting stars, bro. He was counting stars. I don't know what the fuck woke him up, though. But that fight, when he fought Wilder the first time, he was sleeping, man.
Yeah.
All he needed was the Baby Shark. All he needed was the Baby Shark song, dog.
Baby Shark. Let me get these comments real quick, Coach. English guys in the building. English guy, what's up? We got a new one. I have candy in my van. Matter of fact, I think they was in one of my YouTube videos. You see, big shout out to you. Subscribe to the channel. Say Ruiz will outbox Wilder and avoid the bomb.
Hell no.
Completely
disagree with that. What you think about that, Coach?
It depends on what type of shape Ruiz is in. If he got the weight off, he's not a pusher. He don't put pressure.
Nah.
He's a one-shot pop, and if he hurts you, then he's cool.
That's why I don't agree with that statement.
Yeah,
That's
if he can't get it off, he's in trouble. Now let's see what the coach is doing now since he got a
Yeah, because everybody's talking about his physical,
Your
transformation.
Your audio. Speak again, Padman.
Say it again.
No, I can hear him.
Yeah.
No, his everybody's talking about Andy Ruiz's physical attributes, but the thing about it is nobody's talking about what he's working on technically. So that's why I'm really looking forward to this fight.
No, but you know what? You know what though? I'm impressed. I'm gonna give credit where credit's due. Regardless of how he fights, I'm just glad that he's developed a good appetite for the sport again. Because after he won all of those millions against AJ in those 2 fights, it's very easy to go and say, you know what, let me put my feet up. But he's still got a good appetite for the sport.
Charles Martin did that.
Yeah.
Did what?
Charles Martin did that after the AJ fight.
Exactly, that's my point.
He bought a Lamborghini and set his feet up.
Exactly,
yeah.
And Ruiz
and then cupcakes.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Like Ruiz.
Absolutely.
And but after the sex, Ruiz is now, whether he's doing the right things or the wrong things, he's still trying. He's still got the appetite. So I have to give credit where credit's due. I
like Ruiz, man, to be honest with you.
Ruiz, all right.
To me, I like Ruiz. I mean, he came off the scene like pretty frosty and nobody even knew, but I knew about him back in, for a while, 5 years. Like, you glance at, decent, whatever, but
I still feel like
he was a stand-in, Shane. Remember, he was a stand-in. He wasn't the guy that he was supposed to really fight. So,
right.
But again, this is the thing. Sorry to cut you off, Padman. Yeah. When it comes to Ruiz, he has a typical Mexican problem. He has very bad footwork. That's just a common Mexican problem. A lot of Mexican fighters don't have good feet, and I feel like as he fights more higher level competition, they're gonna expose that flow. If he was fighting a guy like Fury, if he was fighting a guy like Otto Wallin, if he's fighting a guy who's gonna show a lot of movement, a Usyk, a Hunter, those guys are gonna use movement against him. And I feel like if your coach ain't working on that weakness, really and truly, I feel like that's the worst trainer you could be with right now is Reynoso, because everybody out of that camp has the same problem that Ruiz has. They all have bad feet. Canelo has bad feet. Garcia has bad feet. And Ruiz has bad feet. The only one with good feet is Frank Sanchez. Sanchez has good feet.
Well, in this business, Shane, every fighter is going to lack something, and they have to be better in another area because they can't fix it. You ever notice, G5, you ever notice, Shane, you ever notice when a fighter fights good fights, then all of a sudden he falls off, then he gets a new trainer, no more money in the bank. They act like they still got that money in the fucking bank, and they don't want to change.
Yeah.
When you don't make change, there is no more checks. There is no more money coming in. You didn't do the right thing. You didn't stay hungry. You wasn't willing to continue to learn as a professional. I give AJ a lot of credit going out and going and get coaches, which I don't accept the ones that he did get, because I look at it like this. Interview people. Interview coaches. See who works for you. Even if you got to spend a couple of, can you fly out? Yeah. Train a couple of days to see what you can do. You got to make sure you're comfortable when coach and fighters share the same heartbeat. If that ain't working, it's just drama. It's a repeat process over and over.
That's a fact.
Yeah, it's a repeat process over and over, going in a circle. I want to walk straight lines, not in circles.
Yeah.
Straight lines continue success all the time. A circle, you just going round and round and you ain't gaining shit out of it.
Right.
Like a fighter has to have that concept and say to himself, man, I got to keep this mentality like I ain't got a fucking thing, nothing.
Right.
Nothing. Just act like I ain't got nothing. Don't perpetrate it. Just act like you ain't got nothing. Be hungrier than what you are.
Yeah.
And I think if Ruiz can get himself past his weight habit problems, which have always been wrong in problem in his career. But it hasn't been really the weight on him. It's the ability to get in shape with the weight that he has on him. Regardless if he lose weight or not, can you tone this shit up? Muscle weighs more than fat.
That's a fact. Let me get in these comments real quick. Bruce Goals, he says, salute G5, Shane, and Coach Padman. Bruce Goals, what's going on with you, player?
Gizzle in the building. Holla.
Yes, sir. Ruiz looking good right now. Physically, yeah, he looks a lot better. He said weight-wise, that is very true. English guy, Ruiz versus Wilder would end in a KO either way, in my opinion. Yeah, that's not going 12. That's not going 12. John Hugh, do you think Wilder is still Wilder or a shadow of himself? The whining is a bad look and does not fill me with confidence. His mojo may be done. Can I answer that first? And then
go ahead.
We don't know. Like,
I was about to say the same thing.
Like, until he steps in the ring, we don't know. It's a mystery. I think that's about as simple as I can answer it. We don't know. It's speculation. We don't know. What you think, Coach?
Man, let me tell you, if I had the opportunity to train Wilder, there's so many things that I can do from that guy. Because I'm all about teaching. I'm all about teaching pro fighters.
But in a problem, this is the thing though. Padman, you can see he's got definitely natural talent, but when he's got the mental situation that he's going through, how do you fix that?
It's what you just said. Yeah.
I just said it.
Yeah.
Look at me. I got all this money. I got a bag full of money. Hold on, let me go get my Ferrari. Let me go get my Lambo.
Yeah.
You see this bag full of money, boy. I'm gonna get my Lambo, my Ferrari.
He got full of money in a Jersey Mike's bag.
Boy, I ain't doing shit. But
how do you get that hunger back for someone who's in that position mentally? How, as a coach, how do you do that?
Camp by yourself with his ass. A camp by yourself with his ass. No one else around. Just work 2 days, two times a day, 3 hours, 2 times a day, morning and evening. Just hardcore. Just change up everything. Learn how to get the fuck out the way first. Learn how to move your head. Learn how to duck from a punch. Learn how to sit down on a punch. Learn how to take the foot, the hip, and the shoulder with you and bend the knee.
But how do you improve confidence or self-doubt?
It's repetition. It works by repetition, man. It works by repetition. That's the only way it works. That's the only way he'll get better. Right now, if he's hiding himself from the public, he is doing the same thing he was doing before. Focusing on that right hand, being the bomb as it is. That's what got him here.
I mean, the reason why I say that, and I'm really glad you're here to talk about it, because the psychological perspective, like when you look at it from a psychological perspective, someone who's been in hiding for so long, there's clearly some form of deficiency somewhere mentally, not physically but mentally. And and obviously you said you take him out and you camp with him. I mean, you got to isolate this psychological issue. Yeah, I don't know whether you try to be very lovey-dovey or you try to be extra stern. I don't know how you would do that. What approach would work best?
The word for it is called discipline. Taking orders, being authority over somebody, and not think it's constructive criticism. It's not hatred, but check them all the fucking time about everything. Yo, champ your foot. Yo, your hand ain't turned. Yo, stick, man. Stick. Straight out your punch. Bend your knees. I don't give a fuck if I got to tell my fighters over and over. Bend your knees. When you go to the body, bend your knees. When they head hunt, bend your knees.
What if a fighter doesn't listen? Because that was something that he was accused of, not being so he didn't have great listening skills. How do you iron that out?
You got to sit him down. And like I said, once he starts acting like he ain't got millions in the bank, he'll fucking change.
That's a good call.
Hey,
I
let me
mean,
get
the
these
reason.
comments real quick, Shane. Hold on.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Get
Go
these
ahead.
comments real quick. Bruce Golds, he said the thing about Andy is he been boxing in tournaments since he was 8 years old. No, he's skilled, man. He's skilled. It's just
Yeah,
he got to right.
we're not saying he's a bad fighter either.
No, not at all. Appreciate the super sticker. Appreciate that. John Hugh Ruiz is the danger man. Do you think he got paid off in the second AJ fight? That performance looks suspect and funky to me. Nah.
No.
Hell no.
Nah, this guy's coming from humble.
Got his ass whipped.
He coming from humble beginning. Coming from humble beginning.
But Shane, Shane, be honest. Joshua played Mr. Safe.
Yeah, no, definitely. Definitely.
That motherfucker was scared.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I look at it again.
He had the gills tied up all night. Yeah.
The answer that I have candy in my van comment. Well, you gotta look at it.
I got you. John Hugh, LOL. I know what you mean. I just think he came in sloppy, overweight, and AJ showed him boxing skills on the outside, and he couldn't adapt. I mean, that's pretty much what happened. He said, I always respected Wilder because he was this guy who started boxing at, 21 years old, and he overcame so much. But ripping Mark Breland really bothered me. Wilder, listen, Wilder overachieved. Like, let's get that clear.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that.
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why he overachieved, right? Because he got bad feet, and he doesn't have a lot of boxing skill. He went 42-0 with 41 knockouts with no feet and barely any boxing skill.
But what did Wilder achieve? What did Wilder actually achieve?
Heavyweight championship of the world.
The most knockouts.
And the most knockouts.
No, okay, I'm glad you said that. Thank you very much, Padman. He achieved the most knockouts. The reason why he achieved that is because he has the most power. He has the most power. Right. So then how could you say he overachieved if he had the most power?
Shane, there's plenty of guys that got power to get knocked the fuck out. There's plenty of guys that got power that lose, Shane. He went 42-0.
But he's not fight. He didn't fight high enough competition to lose.
Bro, it's the heavyweight division. All it takes is one shot, Shane.
He was the heavyweight division, bro. Jeff is talking like he doesn't know. When he won the world title, the heavyweight division was colder than a freezer. He didn't win it when the heavyweight division was like how it was now. He won it when Vitaly Klitschko retired, and he won a belt against a champion who wasn't, in my opinion, a credible champion. He didn't fight Klitschko to win it. Again, I don't think overachieved. In what fight?
Let me let Coach something real quick. Let me let Coach know something real quick. Shane and I usually don't disagree on anything, right? We don't disagree on anything. He chooses today to disagree with me.
That's because it's my birthday.
Because it's your birthday. Shane's showing off today. Like he's showing off today.
Everybody in the comments wish Padman a happy birthday as well.
Yeah, man. Hey, Shane, here's the thing. If you don't say that he overachieved, then basically what you're saying is what he did was expected. None of that stuff was expected.
It was expected. In what fight was he not supposed to win? What fight was he not supposed to win?
Shane, listen for a second. When it comes down to Wilder, you can tell by the competition he was putting them in against. They didn't believe in Wilder. None of that was expected. They didn't believe in him.
You're saying, I agree with you, but you're saying he overachieved. For me to say he overachieved, he would have had to win a fight that I didn't expect him to win, and he didn't. So how can I say that?
Did you expect him to lose against Fury the first time?
No, I didn't.
You knew
we thought he was going to win that.
I thought Wilder was going to win. Yeah. I picked Wilder.
Me too.
I picked Wilder.
I picked him because of the right hand, and Tyson Fury didn't look as slippery as he did in the second one.
Yeah, for sure. Let me get through the rest of these comments, Shane. I'll get at you in a moment.
He said, "I'll fight with you later."
Yeah, I'll fight with him later.
Why don't you just fight on the show?
John Hughes said competence is a integral part of confidence. Yeah, that's true. He said, did you get the email? I said, I just seen it earlier today, bro. I got you. Coach, did you ever come across a boxer you might be training who thought he knew more than you?
Yeah, several of them. Several.
Well, how did he deal with that? How did he deal with that?
Kick him out.
Deuces. Go kick rocks.
Kick him out.
I don't waste my time.
He having that.
I'm not gonna waste my time.
But by the way, it's not my birthday. It's Coach Padman's birthday. So thank you for giving me
Padman's birthday.
They say happy birthday to me.
Oh, it ain't Shane damn birthday. It's Coach's birthday. I have candy in my van. He says 10 title defenses. I think that was for you, Shane. John Hugh. Hold on. Mark Breland.
Sorry.
It was real bad. The fallout was real bad with Mark Breland.
Yeah, click back on that. Mark Breland fallout was a real bad look. That is why I have real questions about Wilder and where his head is at. Obviously
it's time to move on from Breland.
Yeah, that's a fact. English guy Wilder also fought a lot of nobodies. Many of them was cruiserweights and some were fat middleweights. That's funny.
Yeah, well, guess what? Canelo did too. Most of his career.
That's why
he only had 10 real fights.
Right.
I would even say 10.
Maybe
that's why I say to people when people talk about overachieving, I just go by, and I know what Jeff's talking about, but I just go by who he's fought. Me personally, an overachiever is a person who wins fights who I don't expect them to win. Me personally, I'd call Tyson Fury an overachiever. Because when Tyson Fury first came pros, he wasn't supposed to be where he is right now. That's a fact.
Yeah,
that's a fact.
He had some mental issues too, man. He would have stayed on his streak. He would have stayed on his streak, clean cut. But you know, he ain't gonna stay clean cut. He's a party and bullshit type person.
Yeah,
he's a party and bullshit type person. He lives life different. He's a happy guy. He don't fucking care. But he was in a mental state, man. So you know, people reached out and helped him.
Let me get through these real quick, Coach. Bruce Gold says an Olympic medal, 5 years, a world heavyweight champion, highest KO percentage in heavyweight history. He's done a few things. Yeah, he has done. Yeah, but I'm like, none of that was expected. That's why I said he overachieved.
Well, this is again. I'm not gonna go over the same point because Jeff's not understanding.
Yeah,
I'm understanding. Shane just losing his argument. That's what he's not understanding.
Jeff is saying that someone overachieved when he done all of this. Okay, I give you a prime example. We can look at Zerdo Ramirez's career. Right now, he's 40-0. Or 41-0. Right. You can, let's say, at the start of his career, wow, that's fantastic. He's 41-0. He's got one of the best light heavyweight resumes. But he hasn't fought anyone. So how is that overachieving if you haven't fought anyone? Fury age, but Wilder's resume is trash. Wilder's resume is trash. Other than Ortiz, he hasn't beaten anyone. So how can you say that he overachieved?
He beats Klitschko in his prime. So he beat Klitschko in his prime.
No, I mean Wilder. Wilder.
Okay.
Yeah, Wilder hasn't beaten anyone. So we're saying he overachieved when Wilder hasn't beaten anyone. Where Coach Padman was saying Fury.
That's like saying there really ain't no competition in the heavyweight division. Everybody is average to us.
But when he was coming up, they were average. When he was coming up through the ranks, they were average. Boxing was going through that transition where the Klitschko brothers were fading out and the new guys were too young to whip to go on.
But Shane, they were giving him average opponents because they thought he was average.
Yeah, I agree with that.
They thought he was average.
I agree with that.
Yeah, right. So how did he not overachieve if he's an average guy getting average opponents and he ends up being a heavyweight champion of the world for 5 years?
Because he got it in the easy division. He got it when the division was easy.
You just agreed with me that he was given average opponents because he was average. Average fighter doesn't get to the heavyweight championship of the world, Shane.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do if they have power. Yes, they do if they have power.
Shane, do you think if Wilder and Fury fought again, who would you pick? Seriously,
I'm picking Fury.
Woo!
I don't know who I'm picking, Coach. I don't know who I'm picking.
Woo!
There's no way you can pick Wilder. Fury beat him twice.
I would pick Fury.
But you guys are the same way too. You guys are the same way as me. You know what? I want to pick him.
Yeah, pretty much. You get through the rest.
Mike Tyson. Remember?
Yeah.
Get it, Mike. You can have it. No, you can't.
Absolutely. Luis Ortiz wasn't horrible, but yes, the competition wasn't great. I'll admit that. I'm just saying, with not so much skill, I thought he achieved a lot, in my opinion. Bruce Gold says, "Happy birthday, Shane / Coach." King Kong Ortiz was avoided before Wilder fought him. That's a
lie.
No,
that's
true. Not at all.
That's a lie.
That's
true.
A lie. No, he wanted to fight Ortiz.
Ortiz he was one of the few ones that wanted to fight Ortiz.
Remember, Ortiz got with steroids. Remember that.
Can I tell you what? Thank you very much, Padman, for someone actually when you were mandatory for Klitschko, you got caught on pets. That's the fact. When you're mandatory for someone, they have to fight. So that's a fact. And you got caught on pets.
No, Shane. He was nicknamed the Boogeyman. He was nicknamed the Boogeyman because a lot of those dudes didn't want to fight him.
That doesn't mean anything. Bro. They nickname many people the Boogeyman and they ain't Boogeyman. He's not a Boogeyman.
Bro, that's a fact. Shane, you showing off again because it's Coach Padman's birthday, man. You showing off your shit.
I've never thought Ortiz was a Boogeyman because Ortiz never beat anyone. I'm
not talking about you. I'm talking about to the public. He was the Boogeyman to the public. I'm not talking about you, Shane.
Everybody thought every time Wilder fought, they thought his ass was gonna lose.
Yeah.
For a long time.
Let me tell you something. I've never picked Wilder to lose a fight. To this day. I was just suspect.
Let me run through the rest of these real quick. My bro Cruz Hitman Stewart is in the building. He said he think it's Shane's birthday too, his coach birthday. But that's my guy from out of Minnesota. He a middleweight, 806 knockouts. Said John Hugh, I agree 100%. Those big power punchers like Big George, Mike Tyson, all struggled with their first loss. He corrected that. He said, "Happy birthday, coach. My bad." Mentally, how Wilder comes back is very important. That's true. I have candy in my van. King Kong Ortiz has been screwed. Eddie Hearn, hold on.
Sign.
He wants to make sure
sign him.
Never happened.
Sign him to keep him close to make sure the fight with AJ never happened. I would have liked to have seen that fight. Facts. Luis Ortiz was avoided by Joe Louis. He's 137 years old. Yep. He is a dangerous fight for anybody. Bruce goes. Even today, you don't hear anybody calling out Ortiz. That's true. English guy said, "Happy birthday, coach."
I'm so done. You don't understand that.
You know who's been calling Ortiz out?
Who?
Motherfucking Pizza Hut. You see that fat nigga? Fucking put the fucking Cuban sandwiches down, dog. Cuban pizza.
Hey, coach. It was Luis Ortiz's birthday this week, and everybody was asking, like, how old is he?
That motherfucker mumble. I love him. I think he's 41, ain't he?
I don't know, man. I need to
he's got to be 41, man.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something. Yeah, this is a fact. I heard 42. That. I heard Ortiz was sparring with Lennox Lewis. That's what I heard, and I heard it from a credible source.
Well, Lennox Lewis' head ain't hard to hit. You see that motherfucking moon?
No, but I mean, how old must be Ortiz if he's sparring with Lennox Lewis? He must
got a moon, man.
Ortiz got to be in his.
Waste of time sparring with Lennox Lewis.
40, yo.
I think Ortiz is the same age as Padman.
No, he ain't.
Nah.
No, he ain't 42.
Hold on. Ortiz could beat any of the fighters that Mike Tyson beat. What do y'all think about that?
Ortiz ain't beating Holmes.
Yeah, I don't agree.
No, that jab.
Everybody laughing at us. Was it really? I didn't know that. Yeah. 100%.
I
Yeah.
was gonna ask you another question. I was gonna get down to the technicals, but it's up to you. We're gonna keep it running. I got some
Nah,
technical
go ahead,
questions.
Shane. Go ahead, Shane. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Coach, last week we spoke about this. I want to know how we were talking about it yesterday. It's so ironic. Yesterday, 2 days ago, we were talking about the importance of punch power. How do you, as a coach, judge punching power? How do you judge it? Some were saying by how much knockouts you have. Some were saying how good you are at delivering a shot or delivering a power punch. How would you judge it?
Hold on, Coach. Before you answer that, Shane, I gotta come off the stream, but I'm gonna come back on my phone, so I'm gonna come off. We keep going.
Okay.
Crap.
What's wrong?
I'm here.
What?
Stay on, because I'm gonna have to jump off as well.
Okay.
Y'all piggybacking.
Shane's showing off today, man. Hold on, Shane. No, Shane, listen. Just let him answer that question, and then we can always come back to Padman. We can always come back to him. Go ahead, get your question off, Shane.
Rip the question again.
Yeah, go ahead.
Bro, my battery's gonna die. That's why I'm saying this.
Your battery about to die. All right, listen, man. Listen. We gonna listen. Let's just close it out. And we can come back.
We've been on here an hour. That's good.
We've been on here an hour, and this is birthday. Listen.
Next week. Yes.
Next week. Y'all see how we getting down. We're gonna hold this off until next week. Coach, again, happy birthday to you. We love you, good brother.
Yo, I gotta give a big shout out to my boy Shane and my boy G5. Them is my real dudes. We in this for life. We doing this.
Absolutely.
I can see us now from a year from now, still doing our thing with a bunch of followers. Watch.
Absolutely.
I promise you, man.
Yeah, and Shane been wrong all day in terms of arguing with me, and his phone about to die. That's proof of it. Coach, have a good rest of your day.
Enjoy your day, man.
Yeah, Shane, you know I'm gonna get with you. And on behalf of Coach Padman, on behalf of I am Shane, the #1, and G5 Jeff TV, we are out.